Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to episode 178 of Folks Talkin Sports. I am KG Chris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. Joining me this evening are Laquita Thompson. How are you doing?
Doing great, doing great.
Kenny Williams. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Great time of year.
And Mr. A.D. Moore. How are you, sir?
Outstanding. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I like that professional answer. Outstanding. Okay, we're going to discuss the
This is my
collective
off
bargaining
season, man.
agreement
Come on.
between. Well, yeah, but this is my fun time of the year. We're going to discuss
Yeah.
the collective bargaining agreement between WNBA and the Player Association momentarily. But first things first, let's discuss the madness of March. I'm going to get the bad news out of the way first and speak to the Longhorn alum because her team has won three in a row, so they're still playing. So that's the bad news. So, Kenitra, that's your thoughts on how the Longhorns are doing under Coach Sean Miller?
Hey, I mean, he has success, getting teams to the Sweet 16, and they did not finish the regular conference season well or the conference tournament, but they had a great week. Three wins in a span of 7 days.
Did that surprise you?
It surprised me just because of how they finished the regular season. For them to be able to put it together and um, and to represent, because really all it is, it's win or go home. But
Right.
it's a series. Other than playing in the first four, basically it's a 2 game tournament. You don't have to plan for six. You just win the two this week, or in Texas's case, three. And then you rest and you plan and you get ready for more.
And who do they have next?
Purdue,
Oh, that should be a fun matchup. Yeah, that should be a fun one.
I wanted it
Purdue.
to be I wanted it to be Miami so that they could face, you know,
Oh, Jay.
yeah, who cut his coaching teeth, in Austin.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
And he's from here. Known him I knew since he was little fella. Laquita can say the same as well about
yeah.
Mr. J. Lucas. Um, for everybody, your thoughts on what you've seen so far, the men's side, women's side, either one, both. Anything surprise you? Anything disappoint you? Have at it.
Yeah, on the women's side, um, my heart is broken for Ole Miss. They lost a close one with Minnesota today, and they messed up my bracket also. That one, you know, I kind of figured that was going to happen because Minnesota was at home, and I was trying to judge the caliber of team and what they each do. But that one really hurt me. But overall, these games have been pretty. Besides our top seeds that are blowing out some of the lower seeds, like in this middle, in this eight and nines, and some of the 7 and 10s, it's been some really good basketball going on the women's side. So I'm enjoying that part of it. For sure. And then I'm excited also to see what Michaela Blakes is going to do. I feel like this is going to be a breakout opportunity for her from Vanderbilt.
Hmm.
So I'm excited for that. And man, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I hope I make my four. My four are UConn, UCLA, South Carolina, and UT. So we'll see what happens with that.
You went with chalk there.
I know. I mean, that's what the bracket looks like to me, though.
Because I mean,
Well,
there's
I
fewer
mean,
upsets. There's fewer upsets on the women's side.
oh yes, and for this year for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, day one there was like out of the 16 games, only three of them were decided by 5 points or less. Everything else was a
Hey,
blowout.
Right.
And
good win for UVA women.
so,
Yeah.
there were better games. And Laquita, well, Kenitra as well. Good thing TCU is in the Big 12 for the women in West
Hmm.
Virginia because, yeah, I mean, everybody else in Big 12
Hey, Texas women just scored 100.
against Oregon.
Yeah.
Uh, but the
Hey,
other Big 12 women's teams just aren't, as we've said, for this whole season for a while. They're not on the same field as other Power Four conferences, and we're seeing that play out for sure. Who wants to discuss that? Why is that, Laquita? What's going on?
I mean, I guess we would say it's the same thing that is across the board when we talk about sports, when we talk about revenue, we talk about money, we talk about opportunity, NIL. That talent is going to those places because of all of that. The landscape is completely different. So it's almost like you're looking at now. There's a big separation from what I look at when I look at the SEC now, and I think of D1 and Power Five. I'm thinking now pro basketball. I'm
Yeah.
thinking WNBA ready now. It's not even the same, landscape anymore. So like, there's that big gap that's right there, and it's just that's just how it is. That's where we are with right now.
Kenita, what do you say about that?
What's the conference slogan?
In the SEC
Oh,
or the Big 12?
SEC.
It
SEC.
just means more.
Yeah. Yeah, you saw the press conference they just did with Coach O. Like, they're still complaining about how aggressive they play in the SEC and how tough they are, and they still complaining about that. Well, that's why they're there, and that's why they go to the WNBA and everywhere else, because they know how to play. They're pro ready players coming into that league. So yeah, that's my
Thought-
view.
Thoughts on Iowa State and Audie Crooks wasting Audie Crooks' 37-point performance? Heck, Bill Finley. Kenitra? Oh, go ahead. Say you want to say it. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it. Say it.
Like, but I mean, it's not the first time that the team could not compliment the contributions of Audie Crooks. We have known what a tremendous talent she is and her ability. But again, if you can't play a supporting role, what you doing?
Laquita, you agree? What's wrong with what should Iowa State do?
Yeah, that's here again. We go into player personnel and matching I mean, if you got to build around your powerhouse, and you got to build around your powerhouse that's going to make you play more efficiently, effectively, and win games. Like, I don't know, like Jada Williams, I was expecting more from her. I was expecting more from a couple of those players in the
Hmm.
perimeter and shooting and scoring, but they didn't really show up like that. I don't know if it was nerves or what exactly, but you got to build around something like that. I mean, that poor baby, I felt like she played to her best ability that she could, considering everything, and then you still come up losing and you had 30 something points. Yeah, you got to build around that, and not just, I picking and putting pieces here. Build around it that makes sense for your program to win games.
And AD, the Big 12 on women's side sent the same number of teams as the Big 12 on the men's side, 8 teams to the tournament. But there is no one, Kenitra, Laquita, y'all, if y'all disagree, please let me know. None of the 8 are on the women's side. We really consider legit national title contenders. You agree? TCU's good. They're the best in the Big 12 women's side, but they're not on UConn level. They're not on South Carolina. They're not Texas, UCLA. Y'all agree with that?
Yeah,
I agree.
they are a second weekend team.
And that's and this
That's
kind of
it.
leads me here. I don't know what could have been done, should have been done, but Aaliyah Chavez leaving
Mm,
Lubbock and
mm.
Texas Tech and not to go to Oklahoma continues to keep the Big 12
Cody Campbell, where's your
bottom
money at?
bottom feeder.
Mm.
That is a
Hmm.
fail. And that's KP. You bring up a great name because Cody Campbell he spent money for softball.
Right.
So
Hmm.
why? What happened there to allow Aaliyah Chavez to leave Monterey High School in Lubbock to go to Oklahoma. Laquita, you're from West Texas. You got any inside to share on that?
Money, man. It's money. Like, and that's another issue that there is not putting that money on the women's side like you would on the men's side in other aspects of sports. So I think with her case, it was now. Now I will say, it behind the scenes was probably a little bit too greedy. Maybe you're asking maybe a
Mm.
little too much of
The
your
price, the price, the
evaluation.
price wasn't right.
Yeah, probably so. Probably so. And so, but again, the landscape of sports, that's where we are with that, where players can be like, hey, this is what I'm asking, this is what I want. If you can't give it to me, I'm going somewhere else. And then that hurts a conference that could have been like this could have been an awesome opportunity for Texas Tech in Lubbock, Texas, in that conference if she had gone there, you know. But
No,
yeah,
no
money.
question.
Wait a minute.
Go
Let
ahead.
me ask a quick question. Did didn't aren't Texas Tech paying what $2 million for a softball pitcher?
Nigeria.
Yep, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, you paying a pitcher for a softball team $2 million allegedly. I don't see her contract. I don't see her NIL. But you let Aaliyah Chavez walk out of Lubbock?
Exactly.
I'm
Only,
I
like,
mean,
again, I don't know the inner workings.
I'm just trying to
Go ahead.
understand.
Yeah.
And Chris, I mean, we talked about this offline, with the whole surrounding cast, mom, dad, bodyguards, and everything else. I'm sure that didn't that I mean, did that phase him? Did that push him away to go to Oklahoma? Really?
Kanitra, what were you gonna say?
The Again, I don't know the inner workings. To Nigeri's credit, she was a proven commodity in that she took Stanford to Women's College World Series. I don't know if the powers that be in Lubbock or the Matador Club weren't really sure what they were. Yes, Aaliyah Chavez, outstanding high school player. I don't know if they didn't believe that that would translate. But if you think about the women's softball they built a team around Nigeria Kennedy. They weren't a powerhouse team, and their ROI on landing Nigeria was immediate. Women's College World Series, championship series. And
Right.
so I don't know if maybe Aaliyah did not think that the basketball team would have that immediate success. And maybe she just, she wanted to get paid and she wanted to play and she wanted to win.
But Oklahoma?
There- there-
I, I'm
There's
just trying
there's
to. I
more
mean,
there's more to it, and I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, one person told
okay,
me she wanted to leave Lubbock. Okay, uh,
okay, I can
I,
understand that.
I
Yeah.
guess I can understand that, but her other schools, Laquita, I think, were Texas and LSU at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma kind of came in at the last minute, really. I
Yeah,
think.
they did. They did. Because Texas he was in there, and I thought, oh, she's going to UT for sure. Because he was at every game, every practice, everything, everywhere. So I thought that was a solid deal. So when she went to Oklahoma, it shocked me as well. But they have handlers. A lot of these players have handlers that are
Yes.
the middle people that help direct them for their own benefit. So I do believe there was some handling going on in between here with some promises that we don't necessarily know about to get her to go there. So it goes beyond just basic, because when
Oh,
you
oh,
look at
yeah.
Tech, and like the 7 foot player they brought in, and we don't understand that move yet because
Yeah, that
how is
made
that
no
going to
sense at all.
maximize? No
Yeah.
sense, money wasted. So it's this in between thing here that is now involved in sports that gets in the way. I think so.
Yeah.
It,
Reportedly 1.5 million NIL.
for
Mm-hmm.
for for who?
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah.
Okay, for that's what you get from Oklahoma.
That's what she's getting. It just says annual NIL valuation.
Okay. See,
Yeah, that could be.
Laquita
with her
brings
Nike
up
with her
the
Nike deal.
7 foot young lady. I don't know who are the handlers, advisors, friends of the program, Willie Gibson, Enjoy the Bahamas, um, are at Texas Tech women's basketball. Because these two factors. The 7 foot young lady, you watch the handful of video that's available of her, she can't move. She struggles to run up and down the floor. She struggles to walk. She wasn't going to be a help Texas Tech this year, period. Then I found out she had torn her ACL in each knee. So that made no sense to sign her. And there was
Damaged
a big
goods.
old,
Damaged goods.
yes, by all means, damaged goods. So the hubbub surrounding her, it was part of that international player joining during mid-season, all that kind of stuff. It didn't take me long to figure out she was damaged goods. She wasn't going to help them this year. And I think you talked to her when they came to town, didn't you, Laquita? And she
Yeah.
couldn't pass the physical, for what I could tell. So
No.
that
It looks.
aspect of it, and then to Aaliyah Chavez to tie it all together, Big 12 needs a superstar, young superstar like her. So, and it could have been. So, unless the handlers ask for a firstborn child, something just really out of this made no sense. They should have done everything to get her to Texas Tech. Because
Yeah,
lo and
the
behold, today,
commissioner.
LSU beat them by 54 points. LSU, Texas Tech, LSU 101, Texas Tech 47.
The
I mean,
commissioner should have been like, you know what? We
yes,
need this. We need this player in our league. We got to do whatever it takes to get her to this conference. Whatever it takes. Whatever collectives we got to get. Whatever, how we pass this donorship thing around. We got to get her here because this is what our conference needs. If I was commissioner, that would have been the first thing I would have been taking care of.
yes, agreed. And I know that sounds bizarre to have a
He's too
commissioner
worried
get
about glass
involved.
floors for the tournament.
Yeah, and that
Yeah.
at least he made the change. It took him a week to do it
What?
because
But didn't do it for the women.
that's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. There were complaints about it during the women's tournament. He didn't do anything until the men complained.
No, but when you get pending lawsuits, like you gonna ruin somebody's future career.
But he says, and he hasn't really backed it up with actions, how they're going to double down on women's basketball, et cetera, et cetera. Damn it. Y'all should have done everything possible to get Aaliyah Chavez to Texas Tech because she would have brought so much attention to the team, to the conference, that the conference is lacking immeasurably.
Because what
Big
what
Chuck,
did what did they call their digital series? A new league or a different league
a
or
new league,
something?
yes, a different
Yeah.
league.
Yeah. Not so different, huh?
And it's different on the men's side, which gets me to this. Now I'm going to get to the WNBA eventually, but Kansas on the men's side, the way they came back to tie the game up today, St. John's, but to lose on a dribble drive to the hoop,
Stop the ball.
stop the ball, El Marco. You know who it was? Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my, come on, man. I mean, you lose on a
Escort.
driving layup, not a heave, not a 3-point shot. A driving layup at the buzzer is how you lose.
4 seconds.
You did a good job
Ooh.
of fouling. Well, kind of initially, they fouled too soon, first time, which kind of beat them in behind there because if they'd have fouled a little bit later, it would have not
Yeah,
been enough time for St. John's to drive to the hoop. Um, but Iowa State and Houston are the only, so far, Big 12 teams to reach the Sweet 16 on the men's side. Meanwhile, there are 5 Big 10 teams who are in the Sweet 16. So it kind of, and Arizona should get there, join them in the Texas Tech. Yeah. So maybe 3 Big 12 teams. So it's kind of pouring cold water on the commissioner's claim of best conference, best league in America behind the NBA if the Big 10 sends more teams to the Sweet 16 than the Big 12. Just saying. And I
That's
love the
what the
Big
Big
12. I
12
love
commissioner
being part of
said.
the Big 12. What's that?
Oh, okay. You mean that was his statement about the Big 12, the commissioner?
He said that. He
Better
said that in
behind the
October.
NBA?
Mm.
Well, actually,
Oh, okay.
he said he
I
first
was
said it
okay.
in football championship game.
Mm.
The day Texas Tech destroyed BYU in football. But yes, I mean it's a great slogan and all that, and it's another thing of him trying to push men's basketball out there. He's doing so much for men's basketball. He's doing so little for women's basketball in the conference,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my thing. Which gets me
Is
to
it actually him doing it, or is it more the coaches doing it? Because with the pedigree of the coaches that you have in the Big 12, aren't they making his job? They make his job easy, Chris. I mean, let's be candid. I mean, he really doesn't have
no,
to
no, no,
sell the
no. But
men.
he's
I mean,
promoting them. He's the one he coming up with the catchphrase and the slogan. You know, Kelvin Sampson's not going to say we're the best league in America behind the NBA. He's not going to say that.
no,
Neither is Bill Self. He's
but
not going to
that's
say that.
my
What are you going to say? What's your point?
I
But
was just wondering. I mean, to me, he could have dedicated more time to the women's side of the bracket. I mean, to the side of the deal because
without a doubt,
with the pedigree of coaches that you have in the big, yeah. Why? I mean, to me, that's a waste of time. That's non-productive time because those issues are already established. That you don't need to do that.
which goes to our
But
collective
he's
point. He should have got behind whatever, behind, in different circles, behind closed doors. Not saying it's not coming from the commissioner, but it's coming from the commissioner. Y'all need to leave Chavez at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go
period.
knock on. Hey,
Whatever.
go knock on those EYBL doors, and
Yeah, Cody Campbell, Cody.
get everybody on board on this. We got to get
This is
this
not
kid.
Brett Yormark, but it is Cody. Whatever she needs, make it happen. Get at Texas Tech
Yeah.
because Big 12 women's basketball, they're competitive. The games are nice and compile. It's good to watch until they play out of conference and play the better teams, and they're not close to these teams, which goes to
I mean,
Aquita and I believe.
yeah,
What
like Duke,
KP?
Duke and Baylor today.
Yes.
Oh,
What was that final score again? What was that? That was a blowout too. What was that one?
another. This is 80 something or more to 40 something or something, 60 something. I don't know. It was a blowout.
Yeah, it was 69-46.
And
So
it was.
Baylor lost by 23.
Yep.
Texas Tech lost by 54. And these are two of the best teams in the Big 12.
Boring basketball.
They can't score against better teams, which goes to Laquita and my frustration with Houston.
Yes.
The
Oh yeah.
gap is not wide in Big 12 women's basketball if they just bring in talent and connect
That's what.
with the coaches in the area.
Exactly. Like I said before, connecting with the grassroots of that area or just nationwide or whatever. There's a lot of talent that they can pull in. Um, I feel like they're lazy when it comes to this part of it. Like you're just expecting it just to come to you. Now it's competitive on every end as a player for a coaching job to get the players money, NIL. Man, you got to be aggressive now, even in the front office, if you want to be sustainable and grow your conference, your team, your league, your programs now.
And to that, we touched on it 2 weeks ago on Folks Talkin Sports. There has been one change on a coaching staff at UH. They have let one assistant coach go. Coach Anderson, his contract was not renewed. So there is an opening there. And I don't believe they should be done because the results weren't there this year. The talent level is not there that they have so far on the roster. And if I'm the people, well, I'm going to get myself in trouble here, but that's okay. If I'm a UH administration, a handful of folks who care about women's basketball at UH, I think there's one or two over there. I'll be looking at the results of the Big 12 teams in the first two rounds. We could do this. We're not that far from this. If you bring in the right coach and the right talent, we can do this. We can compete with these folks. That should be the mindset for UH and the staff. I mean, Big 12. Wow. I mean,
Okay,
yes.
but like Aaliyah Chavez keeping her at home. Okay, so let's look at this year's Gatorade Player of the Year
Who is
and
it?
where she
Tell me.
and where she go. It's Kingston's sister.
Oh yeah, Bella
Yeah,
going to Duke.
going to Duke. Exactly. Why is she coming? Why is she staying at the house?
And
Money.
I know. I asked Kingston September or so. I said, "Hey man, has your sister heard from UH?" I don't think so.
Makes no
Okay.
I
sense.
mean, is it like they don't want to get their hopes up because they know they have no shot? I mean, like,
Well, that's the wrong mindset right there.
Exactly.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just spitballing.
we don't know. Yes, but that's one thing I admire about Cynthia Cooper. Coop said
Shoot your
they're going to
shot.
tell me no. I'm going to ask them. I'm going to talk to them. I'm going to reach out to. I don't care if you're the best player in the country. I'm going to talk to you.
Uh huh.
I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put in a word for me and my program.
Because what was it? You have not, because you ask not.
That's not.
Yeah.
Because when I go to some of those events and you see all the coaches, of course, your Power Five, they got the front seat row. They're sitting there, they're talking. And then you have other coaches around. They're mingling, they're talking, discussing, moving around. And then you have coaches that are just holding up the wall. And I remember I asked one, I was like, okay, what's your school? Okay, what's your conference? All right. And they're watching the top 100 kids on this court, right? That's who they're looking at. But they're standing up against the wall. And I'm like, so do you think you can get that player? And their confidence is like no, but I'm like, well, why are you standing here at this court? Go to a court where the players you either you compete to try to get this player, or go to a court where the players know you can actually get. But they standing up against the wall, just like chilling because they have to be there. So some of them I just feel like don't have that that you need to grab and go get talent to build your program. Sometimes you got to put the work in.
And I'm not even sure it's the case of this regarding the bag in Bella Flemings. I'm
Hmm.
not sure they even contacted her. Okay, because and I'll say this: we don't know what you don't know what she was asking for, looking for if you didn't talk to her. She could have said, "I want to come to school because my brother's here." She could have done that. At the time, we
Package,
didn't think Kingston was going to be one and done, but she could have thought that.
package deal. I come, my sister comes too.
That has happened before.
Work that out, y'all. Work that out.
Yeah, that has been known before. Just saying. So it's things like that are frustrating. Uh, but here we're
Coaches,
talking that
coaches,
here on.
coach. I just think last thing. I think some of the coaches now need to be coached. They need to be trained and helped on how to really, um, how to be a coach, how to be personable, how to work with community, how to network, how to connect, how to do all these things that it takes now. I think we need some extra training for our coaches also.
And
So the coaches that are holding up the wall. So not only are they ambivalent
indifferent.
about recruit, but I would imagine sightlines, you're not visible with your logo to maybe you can't get Bella, but there's somebody else on her team that you're like, okay, she would fit in our system. We could build a program like, but that's the thing. But if you're holding up the wall, running up and down, they don't see you because you're in the
Hmm.
shadows.
Right.
Work
Exactly.
has to be done. Um, I'm looking at Tennessee is four over Virginia on the men's side. Iowa's ahead of Florida. Second half just started, early second half. Um, Women's basketball, what's going on the women's side? We know, well, before we get
Oh, you,
to,
oh, you just
we get,
started.
OU is trailing Michigan State by 3. Aquita, Rice women's basketball.
Oh,
22 straight game. They won 22 in a row. They lost on senior day to UTSA. They were the 1 seed in the American Conference Championship, Mr. Moore. The way the conference tournament was set up this year, the first year of this new setup, the top 2 teams got a bye to the semifinals. So all they had to do was win semifinal and championship game. Rice won the semifinal. They lost the championship game to, again, UTSA. So UTSA beat them twice this season. So Rice's 22-game winning streak, only 1 loss in conference play during the regular season, no berth to the NCAA tournament. And I'm kind of surprised that there were some folks at Rice who were shocked they did not get a bid to the tournament. I'm like, what are y'all looking at? The American Conference is a 1-bid league and
One,
a bunch of Q4
one.
teams. I mean, there's nothing but Q4 games in the American Conference. Now, it's just nowhere near what it used to be.
Did they
yep.
go to
But
the NIT?
the was it the WBIT?
Yeah,
'Cause that's what
yeah,
it is now. The
Oh,
WBIT. That's
oh,
what the NCAA calls it now. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
but the WNIT still exists as well.
Yes, it does
yeah.
exist. Yes, so that's the 3rd tier now. So NCAA tier,
wait,
WBIT is tier
a minute.
2.
That's an
So
NIT. That's the
WNIT
NIT
is
for the women, and is
WBIT.
the NIT is
WBIT
the current?
is the newer one. Yes.
Yeah. Me too.
Participation
Okay,
participation trophies.
that doesn't
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sense.
yeah.
That does
But just like what
that doesn't make
CBI
sense.
closed that down for this year, but no Houston women's team made the NCAA tournament this year. UH was nowhere near it. Neither was TSU, Houston Christian. Prairie View still looking for their first win in conference play. Season's over, so they didn't get it. They went winless in SWAC play. Winless. That's hard to do. Go winless in the
I
whole
know in
conference.
the SWAC.
And then Rice didn't do anything. Just we touched on a little bit about the men's game, the men's tournament, March Madness a little bit. We'll get into that in a few moments. But Houston women's college basketball is in the pits. Laquita, as someone who follows it more than I do, and that says a lot. What is it going to take for the Houston college team, women's college teams, to get to the tournament, in your opinion? Money?
Like, well, yeah, that could definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I can't really say what they can do as far as money goes because I don't know how the budgets and all those things work per se. But they can be strategic in the money that they have. They can be better strategic with that, and actually, man, I don't care. I would have my magnifying glass in that portal. I would be looking at some experience, give me some experience to come into my program, but I cannot forget my local team, my local city, my local area of talent. I mean, I would be digging in that hard, and I don't personally think that they do that enough. When I go to the games in the high school, I do not see enough of U of H, TSU, PV. Now, PV, she's there because she was there with U of H as well, but I don't see them. I don't see them at the games. I don't see them around the community. I don't see them, where the kids are. So again, you got to get out there and get them. You got to be strategic with your budget, but you got to go get what you need. They got to be strategic in what they need in personnel too. Instead of just picking up, like I say, picking up players that makes no sense. Make your money make sense. If that's all you
Agreed.
got, then you need to get players that's going to make it more efficient and a better system and a better team. They gotta think, be creative, and be more aggressive. I think.
Well put. And on a tier like Texas Southern, Houston Christian, Prairie View, NIL should not be your concern because the kids who are looking for a lot of money in NIL, you probably can't get anyway. So you shouldn't even bother, if if those kids want $500,000, don't waste your time with
Mm-hmm.
them. If your budget is $50,000 NIL, why you can talk to that kid, talk to their parents, and say, hey, if things don't work out for you there, we're here for you. But keep in
Mm-hmm.
mind, we cannot pay what they're paying you, but we can give you opportunity. I can get you in contact with some corporations, things of that sort.
Yep.
But be real
That,
about, be
yep.
smart, be strategic.
Yeah, that's the other thing is getting more involved with your alumni, getting involved with these corporate companies. Like make yourself seen, make yourself known. Go meet with them, have days and nights with them, have things to kind of show what your program is about, who you are. You got to reach a little. You got to get out there and reach wider, not just stick at the house and say poor us.
Okay, for everybody. Tennessee has defeated Virginia. So correct me if I'm wrong now. With Virginia's exit, Duke is the only, on the men's side, ACC team in the Sweet 16. Is that right?
Yep.
Yep.
Wow. That that's that says a lot right there.
And Tennessee just knocked off Virginia.
So Tennessee is now the third team from the SEC to make the Sweet 16, joining Arkansas and Texas. So Arizona is only up by 3 over Utah State. And make this make sense to me. Alabama and Texas Tech are playing in Tampa, right? Later on, I think it's Tampa, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is Tampa.
It's part of the Midwest region, but it's Tampa. That game tips off at 8:45 tonight Eastern Time. Central Time. 9:45 Eastern Time.
That's crazy.
What in the world is that? And you got games in the Western Pacific cities took place earlier today. Make it make sense, man. Make it make sense.
Yeah, it's been crazy. A lot of they having to go one this tip of the nation, go down back here and everywhere and all over. It's been really crazy in how they travel. I feel sorry for. I couldn't do it as a player. I don't think I could do all of that. That's a lot of wear and tear all over the country. When they could just have a position of a local place of where they are, and you just go there and play instead of flying all over the country. I don't know.
That's what, I still think the women's tournament structure needs to be reconfigured instead of just two. But the fact that even the first 4 game, your next game is on that same court.
Right, on the women's side, yeah. Yeah.
As
So, yeah,
opposed to Texas, you play in Dayton, then you then they go to Portland.
Portland.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Prairie View
Then you
went from
come
Dayton to
home.
Tampa.
Oh wait, now you're going San Jose next
Yeah,
weekend.
we knew Prairie View wasn't going to beat Florida, but they went from Dayton to Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
So they won,
Yeah.
had to get on a plane in a matter of hours, and then go fly to Tampa.
Hey, at least you're in the same time zone.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
True.
they got
True.
2 checks though. Got 2 units for the school and the SWAC, so that's nice.
Yeah.
Had
Yeah.
3 HBCUs make it though: Howard, Prairie View, and Tennessee State. That's nice too. You also saw the difference in NIL dollars. They all got blasted eventually.
But I mean, on the men's side, like, you look at Ivy League schools. You look at Idaho, Big Sky. I mean, like they opted out of house settlement,
Yes.
Yep.
and still made the tournament.
Yep.
So it could be done that way. I was up 7 over Florida. Boy, wouldn't that be something?
Wow.
Wow. Because if Iowa wins, they're coming to the Toyota Center for the South region.
Be a lot. It'd be a lot of red in
A lot of
Toyota
corner
Center.
up the red. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get into that real quick. And then get into WNBA. The ticket prices for the regional, South regional, are up there. I think it's $400 for tickets. And Justin, Mr. Big Texco, Miss Wanda, let me know as you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, LinkedIn or Twitch. And UH alums, UH fans feel as if they have been priced out of the regional. My thing, I guess I'm going kind of straddling the fence here a little bit. If you don't have the money, you don't have the money. Okay, I mean it's simple. You can afford it, you can't afford it. Watch game on TV. But if you have the means, and you got your degrees from UH, you're a fan of the team, the program. Why aren't you going? Why aren't you buying your tickets?
And you're saving on travel.
Yeah, you're not flying anywhere. You're just driving
You don't need
from
you don't need
Katy
a
to
hotel.
Woodlands
You
or wherever.
don't like not like the
What
Cornhusker
what
fans
the
who are going across 3 states.
everywhere? Yeah.
Iowa up
I
12
mean,
now over Florida. Up 12. Another Big Ten team. That'd be 6. Boy,
Ooh.
I knew the Big Ten. Big Ten was good this year. They really were good. They get 6 teams
Yeah.
in the Sweet 16. I said a lot. Hell,
But
Yeah.
if you get,
if Iowa gets here, Houston will be the only non-Big Ten team in the region.
I
Iowa,
mean, and
Illinois, Nebraska.
I
Yeah.
mean, but think about it. If you get Michigan and Michigan State, Iowa and Iowa State,
Say, ooh.
So it goes back again. Now, don't get me wrong. It still could be Houston, Arizona in the final for the championship game. That could still happen. Um, but six
that's my
Big
pick,
Ten
man.
teams,
Come on.
6 Big Ten teams in the Sweet 16. Commissioner of the Big Ten should be saying we are the second best league in America behind the NBA.
Right, right. Bring his sign to the game and hold it up.
Yeah,
It
not
is
break
up.
your mark.
Uh-huh.
And again, I love the Big 12, but 6-3 or whatever it ends up being, you don't need to say anything else. You just point, it's like point to the scoreboard. There you go,
That's
right there.
it. That's it.
All right, Mr. Moore. I wish disappointed that AJ couldn't make it because he really was big on the WNBA and the numbers and the money and everything. But we'll get into. I mean, officially, it's tentative collective bargaining agreement. It's going to happen. I mean, it's got to sign up. Dot all the I's, cross all the T's. This is going to happen. It's not going to fall through, right? We agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, look, first thing, I applaud. I mean, this was a typical uh, hard fought
negotiation.
negotiation. I think that yeah, I applaud what the players got really, but I think they held out as long as they could to their guns. Let's face it, they're not going to. They haven't got to that statue of what an NBA team is going to get. Hopefully, they
Correct.
will one day. But I think what they got, I applaud. I applaud them. I applaud them for sticking to that as far as they could go. One thing I'm a little bit, and I'm gonna just say this, and I think Barkley chimed in on this. Everybody's trying to tell the ladies, well, why don't y'all take this? Hell, guys, y'all didn't take y'all. I mean, y'all got everything y'all could out the deal. So why would you tell these ladies? Because my whole forte is get a contract that you don't have to wind up seeing yourself having to go overseas and make your money. Make your money here, and then you can make your money. You can stay here, and folks can actually develop a clientele and a relationship here without you having to go overseas. I know some of the players are still gonna have to go overseas, but the bottom line, get something. And I think with the cadre of players that they have now, they got enough to build around. They got enough player cachet, and I just applaud them for just sticking in here as long as they did. And because no, you didn't get everything you wanted to get, but you got more than you had. And I just think, hey, kudos to them for just hanging in there.
What
Because
y'all
I'm a
say?
I'm a firm believer for the players. Get your money.
Yeah, Kenitra, Laquita, your thoughts on it, then I'll go through more details in the slides.
I just thought, with the league trying to control the narrative by setting these deadlines and trying to make it seem like the Players Association were the bad guys. They didn't want to get a deal done. They're being uncooperative. They don't care about a delay in the league calendar. And then the union was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Those are arbitrary dates and deadlines. Like, don't fall for the okie doke. Like, we're trying to work in earnest, trying to get this done. They're the ones trying to be like, see, they don't care. They don't want to play. So, yeah.
I think this was the first time that a players union could negotiate from a stance of strength and of power and of from an
Yeah.
understanding of their true value. So when they said, "Look, we'll strike if we have to," they meant that because they're not begging. I think, before it was kind of like, man, we're just glad to be alive. We're just glad to be here. Whatever you put on the table, we're going to take it. That's good. But these players, they understand their value. They came from a power of strength. They got an advisory board that was just for them to help walk them through this. And I think also what helped is the experience from the unrivaled league. You got the organizers of that on this committee, and they are doing what they're telling. Okay, either y'all can do this, or we're gonna go ahead and do this. I think the competition from the other leagues also, they had to look at that. But I applaud them just in their stance, and the best thing about it too is they stood together. Now, if they would have pulled a Caitlin Clark or somebody to the side and they would have had that division there, we would still be sitting and waiting. But because they stuck together and they was like, no, we're going to do this together, NECA did a great job as the president, I think. And so that stands right there, a power of strength and knowing their value. And then I don't know why it took the NBA, almost 40 years to become the NBA financially. We're right on track according to that. Like, what third? We're right on track as far as where it can go and where it's going.
So let's get into some of the details. I like the team salary cap will be set at 7 million this season and is projected to be over 11 million by 2032. There is one thing that caught my eye. We'll see if y'all can figure it out as I go through the slides here. The new system results in significant player salary increases. The max salary will be 1.4 million this year and projected 2.4 million by 2032. The average salary this season is 583,000, projected to be over 1 million by 2032. The minimum salary this season 270 to 300,000 based on years of service, and it goes up to 340,000 to 380,000 by 2032. Rookie scale salaries will also increase significantly in all existing rookie deals for 38 players will be adjusted to align with the new salary scale. Player benefits and league standards. League provided housing will be available for all players in 26, 27, and 28, and for players making $500,000 or less in 2029 and 2030. New developmental players will be provided housing in every year. League-wide charter air travel, representing a projected investment of more than $300 million over the life of the agreement. Expanded first-class travel accommodations for players across league events. New facility standards requiring teams to provide enhanced training and treatment resources. Expanded team staffing requirements, including access to additional physicians, athletic trainers, strength and conditioning coaches, physical and massage therapists, and nutritionists. Significant increases in team contributions to player 401k retirement accounts. Enhanced life insurance benefits, Mr. Moore, totaling more than $700,000 per player. A one-time recognition payment for WNBA veterans and retired players based on years of service in the league, including $100,000 for retirees with 12 plus years of service, and then $50,000 for retirees with 8 to 11 years of service. Have you figured out which one that caught my eye yet? $30,000 for retirees with 5 to 7 years of service. expanded family planning benefits for players and their spouses or partners, expanded mental health coverage, including a specific mental health reimbursement benefit, performance and award bonuses. I'm not going to go through the whole list here, but this is a lot. All league and postseason awards will receive substantial increases in bonus compensation, including for this season. WNBA champion, 60 grand per player, up from 22,908. Next slide is a breakdown of those investments. If you win an award, you win this. Some of the pay. All defensive first team used to get $1,500. All defensive second team, you didn't get anything if you made all league second team for defense. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad, but that's changed now for the better. More and more for the pay, what it used to be and what it will be going forward. Mr. Moore, you figured out what it is yet? Look at all these changes.
Yeah.
Have you figured it out yet?
Well, the fact that what the retired players are gonna get a cut out of this deal.
That's nice too, but I haven't got to it yet. It was a teaser.
Oh.
Roster construction and free agency. Laquita, KP, AD requires team to carry 12 players on their roster. Creates 2 new additional developmental roster spots per team that do not count against the salary cap. Laquita, that should make you happy.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's a plus.
Because you as a scout and evaluator talent, you can help more players make the W, right?
Right, because we got more talent now that's coming out and we need spots. So that's like perfect. Because we started with 12 in the beginning, right? In the very beginning of we had 12 on the roster. Or did
And
we
then
have
teams
more?
and then teams started going bust 11 because they didn't want to pay the extra spot, honestly. And now pregnancy doesn't count against the salary cap if a player gets pregnant. Some of this stuff is common sense, but it wasn't in the CBA.
Right.
I remember covering the Comets years ago, and it wasn't a Comet player. It might have been team. No, but it was a player in the league who was pregnant, and I was like, and I think she was cut because the team did not want to pay her salary or have that salary count to her. And I was like, isn't that illegal? I mean, that's not in the CBA. Nope, it's not. I was like, what? So things like that have changed for the better over the years of the WNBA, and this is now year 30 for the W. Just your
And
overall thoughts of everything.
And the commitment to charter travel.
Yes, facilities.
Yes.
So I'm
Like
hoping the
that's-
LA Sparks are paying attention to that,
Yeah.
because LA Sparks, you would think, being in LA, they do the bare minimum in terms of facilities, in terms of trainers, all of those things. They're not. Well, I mean, to a point. People think the Lakers had a misconception about the Lakers front office and how they ran things. It's not like what it didn't used to be under the Bus family about the extra, the training facilities, all those extra things. Lakers did kind of bare minimum too until new ownership. So I think it's good for the W. What does this now speed up the process for Houston to get a WNBA team?
Yes.
Have anybody heard
Probably
anything
not.
different?
I haven't heard anything different from my understanding, and even watching the news when it came out, is it's in the works. Like, and I mean they talked about Houston being the next team up for moving a team, not necessarily a new franchise, but moving that team out of Connecticut here. I do remember them talking about Houston was next up, so I haven't heard anything different than that.
But does that mean that?
So if
Go ahead.
no, I'm just wondering if that is the case. If they move a team here, what about the history of the Comets? Does that fall with them? I mean, I'm just enlighten me. I mean, how does that will they be able to hold that or what? Will
That's
it
been
become the Comets? Will they become the?
I think they registered the Comets name.
yeah, because someone had bought it. I
Okay.
thought. I thought someone had bought the name, and they may. Maybe I'm wrong in that history of that. Um, but that's been like the discussion. Like, how do you do that transition, and how do you do it and without involving some of the players from that old Comets team that will add to the whole nostalgia and everything of bringing the team back here. So,
The connection.
uh, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Justin
And I
brings
know,
up a point.
yeah.
This is something. I believe it too. Things are changing. My dad used to live 2 houses down from Tina Thompson. We used to see her doing her own yard work sometimes. We were like, this woman just won a championship ring. Yeah, I believe that. Quick side note, Florida's now within 4 of Iowa, 55-51. 10 minutes left in the second half. So the reigning champs are making a march to, they're now in that game down, once down 12. They're now down just 4. But regarding the comments 2.0, how many of today's generation knows who Tina Thompson is? Cynthia Cooper, Cheryl
Yeah.
Swoops. So if the new ownership, well, Tillman and his folks do present Cynthia, Cheryl, Tina, Van Chancellor as part of the marketing and promotion, will that work? Will that be effective?
Hmm.
I don't think it will.
Well,
Hmm.
how many years? How many years since? What are we talking about? 15 years now.
2008.
Okay, that's
Thomas
close.
disbanded December 2008.
Yeah.
When I saw it on the news going across the ticker. That's how I found out. There's a lot
Yeah.
right there about the league and the comments at that time. Found out about it as it's going across the TV screen. And I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
But do you,
Um,
Laquita,
I
do you
think
think it will work?
I think, and I say because Cheryl and Cynthia and even Coach, they're out there more now than ever before on the grassroots side. They're in the gym. She's training. She does all this rocket stuff. She's in the Hall of Fame. So they see more of her now. They hear more about that now. You see Cheryl Swoops now talking about the history of it now. You see Fran Harris now. You hear a lot about that team in those years now until I think so. But again, it's still going to take some strategic marketing and some strategic community building and connecting to bring all of it back in. They're going to have to like really start heavy and hard because you're still going to have to do that. But like our generation of people and that right under me, oh, we're ready for it. So I want to say I think so. I think I
But
think I think it'll work.
but like you're saying, like with Tillman, we still see, even though his name is associated with the University of Houston, we still hear what they are lacking.
Hmm.
And that's a proven product, a proven successful program. But Kelvin is like, this is what we don't have. We're doing more with less.
Yes.
So on the pro
Yeah,
side,
but I mean,
go ahead.
but KP, here's the deal. Tillman is the billionaire in the group, but Houston is not the only. That's not. He's not the only billionaire in the city that make me know. He's the billionaire that has the ties to U of H, but U of H still have some other significant connections.
Sure.
Now
We do?
they screwed. Yeah, they done screwed up some of their content, from at least from what I've read and understood. Even from you, Chris, they've screwed up some of their prior contacts with other folks that was contributing to the university on an alumni and so forth. So I mean, case in point, I drive through the medical center. I'm looking up. Well, you got O'Quinn Field. I'm seeing O'Quinn's name more in the medical center than I'm seeing on U of H, other than the field. For instance, and there are other people out there. I just think Houston just needs to, you know, they can't
Morris
be fly
family.
by night. Yeah,
Morris
I
family.
mean,
That's really pissed off right there.
Mm.
okay.
Got to burn that bridge
So,
years ago.
maybe it's time somebody got to go back and mend those bridges.
Oh, it's past time. That should have been done a while ago.
Oh,
Work on it. Get some more different folks working on it.
Look,
Yeah,
AD, call your cousins.
yeah. Are your cousins, Mr. Moore?
hey, 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 hey! It's gonna be a phone call, maybe, but it's gonna be a sidebar phone call.
Look, call instead of your in-laws, call your outlaws.
Yeah, yeah. They might be calling me the outlaw, KP.
That'll do it for episode 178 of Folks Talking Sports. Thank you to everybody for participating in the conversation. Hope you enjoyed it on Twitch and YouTube and LinkedIn and Facebook. Uh, Kudos to Laquita Thompson, Kenitra Pulliams, and A.D. Moore. Um, KP, anything changed for you? No?
No,
All right. All right. Laquita, I'm going to put you on the big screen. So let everyone know how they can find you on the interweb and social platforms.
Okay. I'm pretty easy to find me. It is my name, Laquita Thompson. That's on IG, that's Facebook, as well as LinkedIn. It's just Laquita Thompson. Google me. You'll find everything right there.
Well, yeah, as always. Yeah, I'm not extreme sport. That's for dirt. Yeah, as always. Hey, you can catch me on Twitter at AD_more64, IG and Threads, AdMax Corner, and also and the Facebook is just me, Adolphus Moore, on the Facebook. But that's normally when I'm hanging out. I had somebody I ran into a couple of folks hadn't seen a whole lot from me. Lately I said, yeah, Super Bowl's over with. I'm just still trying to decompress and still trying to figure out what the Texans trying to do with their offensive line. But anyway, that's a whole horse of a different color right now. And right now it's the round ball, and I'm just enjoying it as a fan.
And there you go. Follow Folks Talking Sports on Instagram and Threads at Folks Talking Sports. Appreciate everyone for joining the conversation this evening. Uh, Willie Gibson and his family are enjoying their daughter spring break. Uh, they'll be back here Thursday. All goes well. So, but this is how I envision Folks Talking Sports evolving. Maybe as many as 7 folks on the platform for one show. Maybe as few as 2. Between 2 and 7 will be on Folks Talking Sports, trying to get that on a regular basis and going forward. And of course, if you want to advertise on the show, you can just reach out to me. We can get that together, make that happen for you as well. Advertise at thehrr.com. Not many shows will discuss women's basketball, college and pro, some men's basketball, toss in some Comets, toss in some Cougars, all that. And oh, by the way, Florida has now tied up Iowa at 58 with 7 minutes to go in the game.
I,
So that,
I would just hit a 3.
okay, KP's ahead of my phone. So that's going down to the wire. Looking forward to that. This Thursday, Houston, Illinois. Tip time, I don't think yet has been announced. Probably waiting on the conclusion of the Iowa-Florida game. I'll be there. Got approved for the credential for the game. Well, the games. And then you join us here on the Houston Round Ball Review YouTube channel for the next Let's Rage Cougs post-game show, discussing what I hope will be another Cougs victory as the Cougs march on and continue their business trip. 2 down, 4 to go. So that'll do it for Laquita Thompson, Kenitra Pulliams, A.D. Moore. I am KG Chris Gardner of the Houston Round Ball Review. And always remember this, since 1994, the Houston Round Ball Review, local name, global perspective. Everybody, take care. Peace.